Hello everybody, welcome to Dmonix's Dvlog. Please, my friends, like, subscribe, and share. That'd be so awesome if you do. I've got a new book for the library in today. Very stoked about this. On my Amazon wish list, I've got about maybe 30 books or so that range from the occult, philosophy, history, spycraft, supernatural. Yeah, all of my various interests are in collecting books. More towards the top is more of the occult and esoteric and philosophy at this point. I think my next purchase is going to be, oh my goodness, I forgot his name, Marcus Aurelius, and his philosophy. I believe it's Greek, ancient Greek. I could be wrong, I don't know. That's why I'm reading it. If many of you have been following me for a long time, I started in 2006, 2010, had a lifetime bucket list trip and went to Egypt for nearly 3 weeks, a tour. If you can get to the Middle East, I mean, it's part of Africa, but still kind of the Middle East, and obviously there's issues in that area. But if you can get to Egypt anytime in your life, by all means, it's absolutely incredible. It's not a vacation where you lounge at the beach. It's a lot of getting up at like 4:30 in the morning, being on the bus for like 5:30, and then being out until like 7 or 8 at night, kind of thing. So it was amazing. It was amazing, and I learned a lot. And I've had a passion. Some people have asked, why Egypt? Why did you go to Egypt? It's like, well, Egypt has been in my brain since I was a young child. I was very lucky to have grown up with, adopted into a family, really, of, I guess, intellectuals. My father was a professor. My grandfather was an artist. And there were always tons and tons of books and encyclopedias and dictionaries and all kinds of great things, including National Geographic, and I think probably that's where I started to see a lot of the ancient Egypt stuff. I read, about Carter's exhumation of the King Tut's tomb, the discovery, when I was a kid, and yeah, I was just, even when we went to Expo 86 in Vancouver in 1986, they had a huge, I mean, it's a world expo, so they have, obviously countries from all over the world have set up exhibitions of their culture, and the Egyptian one was one of my favorite. I got an Ankh cross way back then, lost ages and ages ago, but yeah, Egypt's been very big to me. Preface all of my esoteric occult videos talking about that I practice nothing. I have no interest in practice anything. I don't believe in any of these gods any more than I believe in the Christian God or Buddha or anything like that. I don't believe that there is an entity that we must placate ourselves to and sacrifice to and give money to and all that bullshit. I don't practice any religion, any philosophy, nothing. I just have things that I believe in myself, which are bits and pieces of little things that I put together. Anyways, so the Egyptian Book of the Dead came today, and I was quite surprised because sometimes when I order stuff, after I order it, I'll read like reviews, and usually I go to like the really like the worst reviews just to see like what they were complaining about, and if there's obviously a lot of bad reviews, which there wasn't for this one, I'm not going to buy it, kind of thing. Watching it, like OCD. I hear a siren and I have to watch it go by just to see. I think it's going to be an ambulance. We have an ambulance. Come on, come on. Maybe it went by. It's like still about, there it is. There's an ambulance. Thought it was an ambulance. When I read about this, there was a guy who posted a picture, and he said that he got this one, and that it was like really small, and it was black and white, and I was like, oh fuck, what did I do? And I got this, and it was in like a pretty big box, and I thought, oh, that's not a bad sign. I opened it up, and so this is a slipcase that it comes in. the slipcase when I got it was a little bit damaged. I don't know if this was sitting in the warehouse for a while or anything like that. I really, it doesn't, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to freak out about it because, yeah, it's a cardboard cover. So really, the book is in excellent condition. Um, and basically, so the Book of the Dead was discovered in the 1800s, I believe. I had just read, and boy, lots of sirens coming now. Where was I reading that? A gentleman. Where was that? Just read. So the Book of the Dead was discovered in the 1800s. It was a little bit later on in the 1800s, in 1888, around that era, that it was. Wow, there's lots of sirens. Something's going on. Holy jumping. Oh, we got fire rescue. Sometimes you see fire rescue, then you'll see a truck go by with a boat, and that means that someone has gone into the river. That's why I usually kind of watch these things to see what's going on. But anyways, yeah, as I was saying, this, the discovery of the Book of the Dead, 1800s, and it was translated, and then in 1888, the Papyrus of Ani was found. And the Papyrus of Ani, so the Book of the Dead was not a really huge kind of scroll. It was usually placed into the casket with the deceased. At one point, it was written on the outside, I believe, and then they started to pack it in with the mummy, so it would be available to them when they were in the afterlife. And then the Papyrus of Ani was found, and it was like a lot of the scrolls weren't like this big. It was 23.5 meters, 77 feet in length. And that's what this book is the Papyrus of Ani. And Ani was a scribe. His wife, Tutu, was actually a chantress in one of the temples. Whoop. And so basically what you have is you'll have, so these are what are called plates, usually in photos of like this kind of thing. They're plate numbered. And the first plate, they describe what's happening in the plate, and then basically it goes into the prayers of the hymns of praise, those kind of things. So it's very, very cool. It's without the index, it's about 300 pages. So, and it's just beautifully illustrated, and incredible descriptions, yeah, of all the plates. And I don't know if you're familiar with. Excuse me, I gotta sit down here. My sciaticus starting to fuck with me. I didn't know this until I went to Egypt, actually, and it was something I thought I would have known or discovered long before in my reading of Egyptian books and things. And, I mean, it wasn't a very serious subject for me, but it was just something I picked up and had interest in throughout my life. But you actually read hieroglyphics from right to left. It's kind of like Japanese. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken, but hopefully not, you actually kind of start at the bottom and work your way to the top, kind of, from the bottom up, and you read from right to left instead of reading left to right like we do. But yeah, very cool book. I was going to say, I don't know who the publisher of this one is. So it's E.A. Wallace Budge, who did the original translations back in the 1800s. And then John Baldock, it's from Sirius Press. You can find it on Amazon. I'm sure you can find it in local bookstores, or you could order it. But if you are interested in the Book of the Dead, and I haven't finished this yet, so I can't say if it's the end-all, be-all for the Book of the Dead and learning about it, but definitely something that I wanted in my collection. And I've got so much stuff on the go right now between the band and getting that stuff, you know, kind of ready. And also then just reading, you know, I got a stack of books over here. And I mean, all of them not reading all at once, but like I said the other day, I've been working on something I'm doing on witchcraft. And so, yeah, I've got the P. Albert, the Study of the Black Mass, the Malleus Maleficarum, the Hammer of the Witches, and then the History of Witchcraft and Demonology. And if you've been watching my videos over the last little bit, you know that I had been going through the Book of Five Rings. I had bought my Boken. And it's so funny. Like, I don't know if the universe is telling me that they don't want me to have a wakizashi, which is the shorter sword. I ordered it on Amazon, and they canceled my my order because I guess they were out, and it still hasn't come back online. And so Cold Steel is the people who make, or at least the people who sell these. I don't know if they actually make them themselves, but they're the people who sell the Bokens, the practice book, and they sell actual katanas and all kinds of swords too. But I went to find a Canadian distributor for it, which I thought I found a Canadian distributor for. Apparently it wasn't. It was all in Canadian, so I assumed that it was, and I put in my information, and then like a day later, it said that that order was canceled as well, and said that there had been, I use a debit card, I don't have a credit card, so I think that was the issue, is that they just didn't accept debit cards. So yeah, I still don't have the wakizashi. I had started to practice Seiza, or Seiza, which is a traditional way of sitting, and I don't know if that's what screwed up my back there last week. I still had some pain. I still think it's weather related, but I want to get back to this, and I want to get the wakizashi, or the small sword, before I really start to wade into it. It was kind of funny. You can't see it now, but this hand, from handling the Boken, I actually had this big bruise that was right here from the handguard and just handling the sword. That's how much of a wuss I am, and my battered arthritic hands that I used to work throughout my life. Yeah, that's kind of what's left with them now. But hopefully we can toughen them up, and yeah, by doing these exercises, you know, toughen up my body a little bit more. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Please like, subscribe, and share. Again, if you're just coming in at the late point or something like that, this video was on the Book of the Dead, and just got this today, earlier. And yeah, looking very forward to delving further into this. And we'll see you all guys soon on the next video.